Alright, greetings from Tulum, Mexico, and I'm going to talk about my time here for the last 2 weeks and what I view as a problem in the inherent tourism bubble that's existing here. I've enjoyed my 2 weeks very much. I found it a very inspiring place to be, with lots of stuff that I like actually live music in December 2020. Pretty hard to find. Good food, good people, a huge wellness community interested in yoga and personal development and all that stuff, but that's also part of the problem. But basically it's really damn expensive to be here, and it seems like the tourism is dominated by Americans who have the money as disposable income to come to a place like this and pay lots of money. So it's not the hippie paradise that you would want, where you can come without money and have a great time, at least not in the circles that I was sort of socializing in while I was here. Every single yoga event costs at least $25, if not $35, $50 to go to any sort of wellness or yoga event here. I mean, there were a couple signs I saw that were like yoga by donation, so maybe you could go there if you don't have much money. But essentially, it's a weird sort of transitionary capitalist to post-capitalist vibe here, where you have people who are obviously very wealthy and they're looking for something more spiritual, more cool, and more I don't know how to say it, non-conformist would be a way to put it. But they are obviously the people, and myself included, I would include myself in this group, who have done really well by the current system, and done really well by the current system, and still in their lifestyle they have lots of the trappings of the current sort of superficial capitalistic society that has spawned them, essentially. And spawned me, in fact. So how does this manifest? A lot of the expats that I met here were actually like falling into this online marketing slash crypto slash digital nomad, wanting to work as little as possible, sort of get rich quick sort of thing, or life coaches or stuff like that. So it's like a lot of the people who are long-term expats here are trying to do it by essentially, I don't know, making money on the internet. Not like I do, running a business that gives people real jobs, but with the online marketing thing, with investing in cryptocurrencies. And I'm not just saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just I've decided to do things quite differently in my life, and actually make my livelihood out of a real business that gives people real jobs that they can work online from a place like this. That being said, the pricing here, I'd imagine this is mostly done by short-term tourists. It costs about, I've seen like dorm room beds for $60 a night. Every meal that you get on the beach is like $10 to $15 minimum, if not much more. Every drink is like $15 for alcohol, and it's a huge bubble, and so only the richest people can afford this. And so you get people who are not only falling into that category, but people who are just looking for the next place where they can take an Instagram shot. There's this one entrance to a cafe or place on the beach that has a lineup where people can take a picture with this huge art statue. So it's kind of like the gentrification aspect of the crowd here. It's like, this place has a reputation of being a very sort of artistic place, cool place, where there's a vibrance of culture. And it looks like the ship has mostly sailed, because it doesn't seem like any aspiring artist would find it very easy to survive here if the cheapest bed in a dormitory is like $60 a night. They can't afford that. So it's the typical thing that you find in the neighborhoods of for example, North American cities, where the artists will move into like a traditionally working class neighborhood, make it cool, and then money comes and completely prices the artists out, and then the whole scene moves elsewhere. Whereas elsewhere these days, I'm not sure. So basically, yeah, everything is like super expensive. I did enjoy meeting people here. I did enjoy seeing other tourists here. I did enjoy a lot of the people that I met, a lot of the wellness seminars that, you know, I ended up, the wellness type people that I met, even though they all had their own courses that they're charging $3,000 to $5,000 for someone to go through on the internet as a means to, you know, basically just find a way to scrape by and stay here long term. I guess it's a testament to the internet economy and the world that we live in and all this stuff, but the problem with Tulum, to sum it up, is it's too expensive, and that, I think, will kill the actual authenticity of any sort of artistic vibe that made this city what it is, this town what it is today. And you know, I wish I knew where to go to find the more authentic hippie vibes in Latin America, where people still are able to just go and essentially like float around and be artists. You know, maybe my experience would have been different if I wasn't a native North American English speaker coming here. If I was speaking only Spanish and meeting people like that, it would be different. But yeah, folks, with the high prices come a lot of, you know, sort of fake people with plastic surgery and, you know, who are looking for significance and looking for you know, a place where they'll have quote-unquote VIP service, and that's not my scene, and that's not the scene of musicians like me. That's not what we want from a place. So that's the problem with Tulum. But my favorite place around the corner, I'll mention, Beatty's Mojito Bar, was great. They had live flamenco and other sorts of interesting music every night. I was here. The beer was 40 pesos, which was $2, and it was just, you know, an amazing vibe in there all the time. So it's not dead. It's just as a tourist. And increasingly the types of people who are coming here, I think, yeah, I'd like to know what else is out there in Latin America for an authentic sort of hippie artist town, because, well, the Instagram influencers have found out about this place. Come here in droves. I've driven the prices up, and it's pretty much just like ridiculous in a lot of ways, and there's more of a thing to sell the idea of wellness for people who are providing those services and trying to scrape by than there is the actual authentic scene of wellness. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. Places like Holistica seem pretty authentic, although the one guy was telling me that he paid $500 for a private breathwork session there, which is excessive, because a couple weeks ago I found a place around here which was a weekend retreat, which I did for $300, which was a whole weekend of stuff like breathwork, including food, and, you know, courses all day, Saturday and Sunday, and a nice dinner on Friday, and evening of courses on Friday. So essentially 2.5 days of stuff. So you have to actually do your research to get in the right place and the right scene here. I feel that 2 weeks wasn't even enough time to even scratch the surface of who I could have met and the scenes I could have gotten into and the people I could have gotten to know, because there are lots of interesting expats here. I just feel that, well, as a successful entrepreneur, it's very rare that I feel like a place is too expensive for me. But when I see hotel rooms for $200, $300 a night, US dollars per night, it is too expensive for me. I'm not gonna live like that. I can't justify spending that money somehow at this point in the journey. And I don't want to be with exclusively only the people who can spend that amount of money. It seems ridiculous. And also the influence of the North American culture that, you know, I decided a long time ago was not what I wanted to live amongst. It's way too much here. Way, way, way too much. Whereas I feel in places like Thailand, Copenhagen, you get more different European types of different European people, and it's much more my vibe. So thanks a lot. Greetings from Tulum. Lovely place. Check it out. If you know about any places like this where I can do, you know, yoga and wellness retreats and all that sort of stuff that are a little bit more cost effective and authentic in this day and age, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you later.